Hello everybody, it's Coffee with Teresa, the channel where you learn about business, finance, and entrepreneurship all during your coffee break. And in this video, I thought I'd do an analysis over Voyager token, VGX, given the run-up it's had this year. So for those of you that don't know, Voyager is a cryptocurrency broker where you can buy and sell a lot of cryptocurrencies. It's kind of like Coinbase, but it offers you some interest in return for holding your cryptocurrencies on the platform. It has actual stock in the normal stock market, in the traditional stock market that you can invest in. But what's interesting is that it also has its own cryptocurrency token. And the idea is if you have a certain amount of Voyager tokens, you can hold it on their platform, and then with that certain amount, you can start receiving interest and even other benefits that provide some utility. So if you look at the year, for example, over here, Voyager token has just had an insane run up just this year alone, and we're only in April. Now, I'm not currently in Voyager token, but I was in the stock for a little while. And anyway, it had this run up to $3, as you can see, consolidated, then ran up again, consolidated. It got as high as $7.28 before pulling back, and it's kind of just been drifting since then. Now, it did have a recent run up here, but now it's pulling back as well. So now with Voyager, what you have to think about is all the reasons why this coin ran up so much. So around the time of the GameStop craze, you had massive amounts of people from Robinhood download the Voyager app. And a lot of it was because of Dogecoin, because Voyager was one of the few platforms that had Dogecoin, and you could easily buy Dogecoin. And so you had that pump in Voyager coin and the stock for that matter, because the app onboarded so many new users. And I think now it's kind of sort of in this hangover period. So if you're interested in accumulating Voyager tokens, I personally wouldn't buy it until it reaches around $3.50. Or even a little bit below that. And maybe it doesn't ever drop that low. Maybe I could be wrong. But I just think that there's a lot of opportunity elsewhere. So you want to be in tokens that are setting itself up for a breakout. And this has had a phenomenal run this year so far. So if you were in VGX early, you're reaping the benefits now. But right now, if you haven't gotten in yet, it's just not showing enough to be convincingly bullish. And remember that Voyager token found its value because of the efficiency of its token. And as people got on the Voyager platform, they were incentivized to buy and hold VGX. So since there was an influx of new users to the Voyager platform, naturally we saw an increase in price in the stock and in the coin, in the token, And the move was massive, especially if you were in it, like, again, you were reaping all the benefits. But my perspective is that I think until Bitcoin has a new wave of interest, a new craze, and more people really start thinking of altcoins as something that they want to invest in, it could take a little while for this next big move, this big wave to happen. Now, maybe other factors help move this token. For example, more people could start to download the Voyager app, right? But ultimately, that's what it comes down to, is more people using the application. So on a technical analysis, it was trending lower until it hit around $3.80, and it got as high as $5.20. And now it's kind of staying in this range of $4 to $5, right? So from a technical perspective, you could argue that this right here is a bullish engulfing candle at what up until then had been the bottom of a downtrend, right? So that could have been a reversal, but it hasn't fully formalized. So if you're in VGX, I think it can hit new highs, but it may take a little longer to do so. So maybe consider holding for a couple months. I would even say until August. In a previous video, I talked about 3 alternative coins that I think you should be watching to invest in. And if you haven't seen it, you should really check it out. So I talk about Golem, StormX, and ZRX. But when you compare these potential setups and the projects behind Voyager coin as opposed to StormX, Golem, or ZRX, there's just such a difference between buying StormX or Golem, which are true crypto plays, than as opposed to VGX, because the VGX coin is tied in some sense to how Voyager, the company, performs and how many people download their app and use the platform to trade, where Stormex and Golem, again, are like more valued based upon speculation, and there's still more room to run. So there is speculative value in VGX, but ultimately it's tied to its ability to onboard new users on their platform. So right now it's definitely missing that catalyst needed to get new users on board, and until we have that catalyst, I don't see it running up too much. So remember, users being forced off of Robinhood and having to look elsewhere is what actually set Voyager up for success. And Voyager is still doing all the right things as a company, so I think for the long term, Voyager below $4 overall is a good buy. And you can see here, right, like I said before, it hit 380 and it kind of bounced off that level, so that's a good price level to start keeping an eye on. So I would just wait to see if it tests this level again and see what it does. And preferably, I think the low threes would kind of be ideal as an entry point. But if you're holding for the long term and you're experienced and you can even hold and you don't mind if it drops further from whatever price you entered in below $4, and you're not in a rush to sell it, you can't go wrong with anything under 4, in my general opinion. And just know that we may be in for some consolidation for quite a while. I think what you want to look for is some catalyst, Bitcoin reaching new highs because new investors are getting in, or some other catalyst that causes people to want to download the Voyager app and starts a new wave of adoption of investing in cryptocurrency. So those are my thoughts on Voyager coin. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like so it can reach more people. Also, if you have a question, drop it in the comments. I'll try to answer them. And just give me your input and your own analysis if you don't agree, or if you do agree with my analysis on VGX. Also, be sure to check out that video where I talk about 3 altcoins that you need to be in. I think you'll find it helpful as well. Thanks for watching, guys.